7, 8, 9. Okay. Louisa, Lucas, Jen, Rita. Hey, everybody. Let me just realize that. Okay. Let's see what we got. There I am. Okay. Hey, y'all. All right. Fuck it. I'm really sorry that we're starting this late. My New Year's resolution of starting on time has not come out. I actually got thrown off a little bit by the lack of music, and anyway, but I'm not going to dwell on that. I'm sorry for that. I want to work better at that. I think generally you guys have figured out if you make it in by 7:10, you're not really missing anything. I will work harder, I promise. I want to, speaking of working hard, I haven't shaved or anything because I have been like a mad scientist at work trying to build this couch. And I think goodness, all the cameras are turned on me, thank goodness, because behind this whole thing is basically what looks like a wood shop in my kitchen. In fact, the reason I was a little bit later than even I had said I would be was I realized that I haven't swept the floor. And so there was sawdust all over the place and behind me, which is kind of fun to hoop on. Definitely helps you slide a little bit better. But anyway, so what I want to do for tonight is, I just want to be positive, first of all. I said this on the last class, but, whatever advice you need, if you need any, from me, is just ignore the cynics right now, because of course, a lot of us and a lot of people we know, we start with these big, resolutions that we want to make. And then, a month, 2 months, 3 months in, we've completely forgot even what our resolution was. And it's easy to get cynical about that. And I think it's okay for them to be skeptical maybe. But for us personally, as we're experiencing these resolutions, goal setting, I think that it's one of the beautiful things about the human body is that just aspiration, like just has this, or aspiring to things just has this positive glow to it. And it's that same glow that you feel when you create something. So however naive it may look, at the end of this year, I really encourage you, if you're feeling it, if you want to, you don't have to, and that's important to know the difference also, but to, set these goals for yourself. And for me, I'm setting some pretty ambitious goals myself. One, I'm going to continue my social media is actually making it easier for me to keep up with not being on social media that much. But I really want to get control of my hobby spending. I was talking to somebody the other day, and it's like I can get like $17 and $18 to death by Amazon. And so, oh, that's sweet. So I want to get control of, I just want to sort of neaten up, sort of my checkbook and really start to be and think a little bit more strategically. And then in my flow life, my new resolution, which I've done before, but I actually have the perfect opportunity right now, is to wake up every day and flow instead of social mediaing. I have trouble sitting down and writing first thing in the morning, even though people say that's the best time. I just struggle to move the gears, but I think flowing would be nice. I've done it before. So those are some of my resolutions. With tonight's class, by the way, yes, we are doing a birthday jam. Yes, we are going to do a Zoom wall. And I would love it if people would stop in. I'm not that good at Zoom walls. K-Swift or NamaFlow used to do it all the time. But I will have one set up at least for that night. And I would love it if you would join us, please. So tonight's class, related to resolutions, is I thought we would just go through sweet, Jennifer, thank you for saying that. So I thought what we do is just go through some Hoop Path fundamentals. I'm not going to talk, and then I'll sort of teach. It's kind of going to be like guided flow, but I think it'll be a little bit better, or not better, but a little bit more techie than that, because I do want to talk about some things specifically. And if you're new to hooping and watching this, this is the foundations class. The way we look at foundations is not beginner, it's foundations, right? Like it's what the whole building is built on. It's not, it might be the first thing you do, but it's not like you move on beyond and off of that platform of your foundation. So no matter what skill level you're at within the Hoop Path anyway, this will, this is a chance to brush up on those. And so I've got a couple of things picked out. I just realized I don't have a pen. Oh yeah, I do have a pen. If you guys would like to hit anything specifically, we can do that also. By the way, I don't have a huge viewership here, so like if you're feeling comfortable and you want to share your resolutions tonight as you take a break or whatever, we have a very supportive crew here. The best place to watch the best place to comment, I'm told, is Facebook, but the best place to watch is YouTube. All right, so I'm ready to get started here. Now, if someone were to critique my stream and say there's way too many cameras, that would be a reasonable criticism. If they were to watch my stream tonight and realize that all 12 cameras are pointing on me, they would totally be validated by that point. So I do not have a guest student with me tonight. So all the cameras are on yours truly. Oh, Kelly's here. Sweet. Bed early. That's a resolution. Good luck with that one. I believe you can do it. I have really, really struggled with that one. Right now I'm going through a pretty big, actually had some coffee. Hey, Rita. I don't think I said hey earlier. Hey there. All right. And Joel, the bot, I hope you're doing well too. I have nothing but compassion and love for you. Okay, let's see. All right, let's get going. Oh. Huh. Okay. Audible breath in. In the story of the Maidan, they didn't, I suppose, have New Year's resolutions, but they did believe in this concept of an ascension point. It came from the story of the very first Maidan ever, Ana. And when she's lost in the desert, she finally sees something that dots the horizon. And she just thinks to herself, screw it, I'll just head to that thing, because it's the only thing I see out here. It'll give me some kind of sense of direction. And as the story unfolds, she winds up running towards a giant, mythic, huge, soaring into the sky tree. So in her case, her ascension point did cause her to look up. And it's kind of like a goal, but it's just a little bit different. And it may be more comfortable for some of you. You can just think of having something in your line of sight that reminds you to look up from your feet, that offers one way to go when you're not sure where you are. Audible breath in. Audible breath in. One way you can create an ascension point, let's say your goal is to be healthier. If it was a goal and you were planning, you do one thing. But with an ascension point, you just visualize. You visualize what that healthy life would look like on you. What it would feel like to be in it. Audible breath in. Audible breath in. Audible breath in. Audible breath in. Big breath in. If you're thinking of goals, or if you're visualizing ascension points, or creating goals, I encourage you to jot them down. I think it's easy to sometimes overvalue the thoughts that we have when we're panicked, or when we're desperate, or when we're unsure. And I think sometimes we undervalue thoughts that come from a more tranquil state of mind. For me, as I'm flowing right now, I'm realizing that I have this nagging fear of details. Whenever anything begins to get detailed, I to lose interest in it almost as a defense mechanism against having to let my mind process details. Audible breath in. My ascension point is someone who doesn't think about it at all. Okay. All right, sweet. What did I miss in the chat world? Okay, Rachel, well, take care of yourself. I'm glad you're still with us. This is nasty. But, you know, I mean, good news. You know, even though the exposure is going up and up and up, the deaths, according to the New York Times, we're experiencing a 3% drop from the previous 2 weeks that same day. So that's, you know, it's hard to have a silver lining, but that might be one that, at least according to the New York Times, not as many people are dying as you might expect. Okay, so yeah, perfect. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into our hoops. I forget. Oh yeah, I was gonna make sure the music I don't think is showing up for you guys. So let me make sure that that's Oregon. Yeah, okay. There you go. Okay. No, I think I'm going to jump straight to the core. All right, so we'll go ahead and jump straight onto the core. Oh, I knocked my camera. Wait. There we go. Okay. Okay, here we go. It's kind of a quiet, muted song. We're on the waist right now. So we're going to move through a couple of these. Actually, I think I just changed my mind. I think we're going to go ahead and pick it up a little bit. I mean, hell, I got a slightly light start. I was going to set up waist tubing, but I don't think I really need to set this up. Audible breath in. Yeah. You know, that's the if you've ever read A.H. Almaas, Sarah, I'm not like a disciple of his or anything, but he makes a couple of great points. But one's called the diamond approach, which is like when we sort of realize that all these different, and I'm sure you know this concept, but it's like, since I brought it up, it's like when all the different aspects of ourselves, we realize that they're all converging, that they're just different, you know, facets of the same diamond. The reason I bring that up is that like it's meant to be a sort of unifying, you know, mental exercise. Reverse. Everyone enjoys hooping their own way. For me, is the music loud enough? I can't tell if the music's loud. For me, waist hooping is one of my favorite ways to warm up. Audible breath in. Forgot to mention with you guys, some of you, if you're not watching on your phone, some of you might want to grab your phone, like between exercises, and film these different fundamentals as you do them, because maybe you can use them as a progress video later. filming you, right? Not me. Reverse. If you haven't opened up to exploring your second current at the waist, I cannot suggest it enough or too much. Open. If you were watching on Monday night, Ann and I talked about hot coals. Right? I love this track. We were talking about hot coals. And that's when I'm moving my feet constantly. Heart rate up. Let's think about goals and positivity. Positivity, guys. Optimism. Optimism. Audible breath. One thing I should speak on while I'm in first or second current, right? One thing you can do when you're wanting to open up your technique a little bit is start to step behind you or forward. Boom. Well, actually, let me make it easy. So I'm facing you guys. Boom. Sumo steps or big wide steps. I think I've mentioned this before, but if I haven't in a while, tighten your abs. Loosen and tighten your abs, right? Make that an ascension point. Not to have abs, I don't have them either, but to focus on your abs every now and then, to tighten them, release and tighten. Oops, the broom I used to sweep the sawdust is green. Right? Yeah, it's A-H Almas. I think that's it. Okay. 6 minutes of waist tubing is good enough to get us going there. Again, I just want to say this, and I think everybody here knows this and understands this, but I just want to make sure this is crystal clear. I love philosophy, I love religions, and when I reference something, it's not me endorsing that thing or even really knowing necessarily a whole lot about it. I try not to talk above my knowledge base about something, but a lot of times I just bring it up because, we get to sort of eat all these different, berries in our different belief systems. Hey Heidi, welcome. Okay, so one of the things that I wanted to get to, I think I'd like to just combine certain things that I was going to get to. So I want us to do a shoulders only song, and you can add second current into that, but we'll work on shoulders only. This is a great one to film, by the way, if you have a video camera. I think this stream buffers, so you can press pause, but you'll be, in comments, you'll be behind this, but. Shoulders, all right, we're gonna do shoulders only. These camera angles are crazy. I don't even know where that one, oh, I see. There we go. I make it hot. Couple of things to keep in mind. Think about pushing up. Think about pushing up, right, from your chest, like that. If there's a direction of push, pushing up. Boom. Also, just since this is the foundations class, nice, Lisa. The two broadest categories of shoulder hooping are rooted and unrooted, right? Or free, whatever you want to call it. Rooted and unrooted. Uprooted. Not uprooted. Unrooted, rooted. This is rooted shoulder hooping. This is unrooted. We kind of call this two-tree, by the way, but it's sort of old school. Louisa just said she's practicing mountain shoulder. Mountain just means that she's practicing keeping her hands out, away from the body and active, instead of brought in and hunched together and sort of bound. Instead of that, mountain. And this is something that really only a fellow hooper would understand. Because it doesn't really work this way, but try to keep, it's hard to explain, but it's a hooper thing. Try to stay in the middle of the rotation, right? Like, I know it sounds weird, but try to stay in the middle of it. Think of, just visualize, just try to understand what that says, and your body might figure it out before your brain does. But when you try to stay in the middle, you'll get faster with the hoop rotation moving around you. This is not staying in the middle, and this is, see how the hoop drops? See how I'm at one end? And then I'm going to go ahead and combine, for me personally tonight, and invite you second current into this shoulders only exercise, since we're, we want to pack a lot of stuff in. If you struggle with second current, no matter on the shoulders, no matter what your dominant hand is, your non-dominant side tends to be the problem. Just my advice. Sometimes you're so not used to moving what the non-dominant side, that the dominant side is just doing all the work, and it's just doing all these kind of like herky-jerky motions. And so what you have to sort of do to break out of that is to sort of focus on just moving your non-dominant, for me it's my left hand, but my non-dominant side. Sometimes if you've got it bad, even when you're trying to do mountain, you'll sort of be doing this kind of half mountain thing, and the other hand will be stuck down here. Okay. All right. Okay. Second. Okay. Now this is another one that you can film, and this one, super basic. You guys know that I love this particular basic of vertical rolling. We're just going to do a whole song just completely about vertical rolling. kind of chill, but thought it'd be good to take a break here. So this is vertical rolling. I'm just rolling the hoop. Boom, 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 boom. And of course, in Hoop Path, well, not in Hoop Path, but, you know, I started hooping a long time ago, and there weren't a lot of names for things. And I didn't ignore any of them, but I just made up a lot of them on my own just because there wasn't a name. So some of the names haven't aged well. Rolling probably hasn't aged well, but you get the idea. This was, you know, I wasn't the one who came up with this or whatever, but I called it rolling because I didn't know what else to call non-horizontal hooping. The idea of, you know, and I think I shared with you the story that this comes from, but the idea of, you know, your hands as birds, and that when you're vertical rolling, it's like these two birds are tossing this magical stick back and forth to each other. Dip with it and they rise with it. If you do a weave, you're not rolling anymore, but this is why it's confusing. You're still in the same category, but it's technically not rolling anymore because the hoop is just staying flat in your hand. Now you can get around this and keep rolling the hoop all the way in what would basically be a weavy type thing, but you really have to think about which finger you want that hoop to be spinning around, because it cannot stop spinning for it to be, you know, a roll. Because if it wasn't rolling, it would be stalling. Definitely, if you haven't like sort of mastered this, like, or you know, if you forgot about it, but definitely learning this move here. You know, I plan on continuing this stream for at least a few more months, if not longer, indefinitely. Hopefully indefinitely. I'd love to keep going. So this is a movement that would show up. This is vertical rolling, but this would also show up because we use this a lot in just Hoop Path in general. This is anti-spin, or, well, this is anti-spin. I am most definitely not the best at this. Actually, I think what we'll do is stay here for a hot second. Hopefully you guys are still with me. Usually when you're not commenting, that's either good or bad. Usually it means you're working on something. So let's take, I know that you guys aren't as crazy about tosses as I am, but they can be so much fun. And what I really want to emphasize right now is that this is why you should film yourself. They can be gentle. They don't need to be these big, you know, hurls and, you know, way up into the sky. They can be, I can just move, I can create little small tosses, and I'll just remind you how we do this, or how I recommend we do it, which is to leave your elbow kind of alone. Like if for these type of small tosses, they're so gentle, right, that it really just takes the most subtle of movements, and you just pull your arm back, you pull your wrist back to you, kind of like almost in a cut. No. The ceiling fan hasn't moved, it just wants to. So these are the tosses. And I'm pulling my hand back to me. And of course, what we try to work on, let me show you something here. Well, I hope this won't ruin it for you. Actually, okay, I'll bring that back, but this is kind of important. I want to show you something. So this would be like, if I don't focus on the roll of the hoop, then my tosses kind of look like this, right? And they're kind of hard to catch because there's absolutely zero roll on the hoop at all. And so a lot of times what we wind up doing is if we have a toss, you know, or we're trying to go from toss to toss, if we didn't put spin on it, it would look kind of like this, right? Which is cool. Those are called static tosses, but that's not really where you get like your flow with tosses in. And that's by focusing on the rotation that it's making. And so I want to point this out, and then I'll bring the music right back, that when I go to catch the hoop, to keep rotation going on it, I'm going to come, depending on which way it's turning, I'm going to hit the hoop, try to engage the hoop here or here, right? Like on the curvy part, but on this southern arc down here. Even though the hoop is coming this way, I'm going to want to focus there, but instead I'm going to focus here. And so when I make these tosses, especially if they're like little small tosses, I'm just pushing. You can see I'm releasing, and then I push right there, push right there, push right there, boom. So for you that, you know, I'm going to the left, my hoop is rolling to the left. I'm sorry, it's rolling to my right. I'm sorry, I'm confusing you. It's rolling to my right now. If I let it go, it'll roll to my right. So when I'm making these tosses, I am pushing in the lower left corner. Okay. All right, let me bring the music back and I won't interfere anymore. But if you have questions, let me know. Tosses is what we're working on. And we're going to stay here for just a minute or two. I know that people's arms can get kind of burned out on these. All the fun out of it, but there is a second current to tosses too, so keep that in mind. If you get bored with one, work on the other. You'll be surprised. It is like learning a second current. This is a beginner class. I hope I'm not being too talkative here. But you can do that under the arm tossed. If this would be super beginner. Oh, nice, Carla. But if I tuck the hoop underneath my arm this way, and then I kind of hold it until I think it's going to break my arm. I can get like a pretty cool toss on that, right? So it's here. Well, it's kind of hard to do it at low velocity. Boom. But you can get a really powerful toss without trying not to break anything. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So you can put a lot of velocity on it. These can be fun little tosses too. Just, you know, any sort of like toss. That's that same one. Most of the time, the toss is the easy part. It's the catch. Okay. All right, let's see. All right, we don't have that much time left. Damn it. This is what the problem was starting, like. Because I do want to give you... Yeah, okay, I love that song. Actually, I know what we'll do. We're going to play one really upbeat one because I want to talk about angles. All right, well, we're gonna give your neighbor a break. Now it's just gonna squeak from floor joist up there, Louisa. But we're gonna work. Let's work on. We'll go super old school with this one. Yeah, absolutely. Isn't that just awesome, Heidi? That like you can give the body, I mean, the mind can give the body the most impossible template, and it'll do it. You know, it'll be like, okay, I want you to do seaweed out in space, and your body will begin to be seaweed out in space. It's a beautiful connection. Okay, here we go. All right, we're gonna talk a little bit about some angle hooping here. Again, if you want to shoot video of yourself, if you aren't streaming through your phone, or if you don't have Media Monster, or one of those apps where you can do both at the same time, that's fine. But filming your oh, nice, Megan, welcome. Megan, we're at angle hooping right now, so we've been working up to this. So this is an easy way to set goals. So earlier I said we have rooted and unrooted, right? We're going to work on angle hooping, or I'm going to work on it rooted, which means that I won't be moving my feet as much, but I can go up and down, and that's really where I get most of the gas away, or get most of the go in the angle hoop. I'm just going to, well, one thing you can try, this is such an easy baseline, is I can just be waist hooping like I am right now. I don't know if you can see this, but I can just start to bring my heels up off the ground with the song, and then if I bring a little visualization to it, I can start to send the hoop down, and I'm in earth angle. And then whatever the degree of the angle, that doesn't matter. Angle hooping is angle hooping, right? So it could be pretty slight angle like I'm doing right now. This is still angle hooping, kind of. You can sort of see it. You can see it more in the background there. But this, of course, is more obvious. And then what I like to do, and it's hard, but what I like to do is to chi the hoop up and from sky down into earth and back again, all while enjoying the song. struggle with angles and you really have trouble, there's two things that show up first. Sometimes it just takes a minute to, become hooper fit for it. Like every exercise has like a fit, not the way you look or anything, but just what you can. And with hooping, a lot of it is keeping your cardio up. A lot of people don't realize that at first. So like these core exercises, you're basically telling your body, like, don't fatigue. We need to keep going. We need to keep going. And so you'll learn that. Your body learns that. But if you're just into hooping, that's usually one of the reasons. The second reason is usually that there's a neglected part, right? And so one of the ways you can find out these dark spots in the hoop's rotation is to just visualize the path of contact, to feel the path of contact, wear a blindfold, whatever. Feel it go around the entire, circumference of you. And in angles, a lot of times you'll sort of feel that there'll be sort of maybe a heavy landing at one part, or there's not enough, like sort of solid contact somewhere. Or you might just realize that, away from the hoop, that one of your hands is just really, holding still or locked. I'm gonna try second current. Wow, I can feel that immediately. All right, flow goal. Now I'm gonna walk mine back up. There's loads of ways that you can do that. Walk it back down. If you're still with me here, I know we're getting a hard workout in. We'll go to a free hoop after this, or we'll go to chill exercises after this. But angle hooping with the shoulders. Oh, actually, before I even get there, some of you are definitely ready to try rooted angles. You've probably done it already, but if you haven't, especially you yogis out there that have the flexibility, I'm like horribly inflexible. But, God, this is going to look weird. Sorry, y'all. But what I'm talking about is when you start to bend lower and lower and lower. Oops. This is me touching. Of course, if your hip's really big, you probably wouldn't be able to do that. Yeah, I think I've probably worn you guys out, so I think we'll chill out on doing any more angle hooping. Let me know if you have a question. I'm gonna take a water break here. All right. God, see, if I had a student with me right now, I would say to them, should we slow it down or should we keep going? I'll tell you what, I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to keep it kind of high energy, but it's just going to stay there for a minute. Just for a minute, because for those of you that I'm imagining if someone wants to, yeah, that's usually that or maybe not non-dominant, but it's usually one side of the body is tucked in to the other one. And so like you have to kind of untuck them. Okay, keep going. All right, so I want to do, this is my favorite. This is like this. If a song could sound like Burning Man in 2004, or maybe a little bit earlier, this is that type of track. But I want to talk a little bit about legs, and I know you're going to get frustrated, but I want to give you some pointers, and I think this is a good one to shoot video on. That's what I was getting at, is to shoot video of this. You can even hold it and look down if you want to. Sometimes that really helps you to see what your legs are doing. Yeah, well, waist angle is Shoulder hooping is, it's hard at first, but then you realize it's kind of like the easiest body part because it's just got so many more moving parts, right? That you can sort of manipulate and control and unite, as Sarah was saying earlier. Okay. I don't want to forget what I'm doing here. All right, let's talk. We're going to talk legs. And I'm going to give you guys my, we're going to do a little bird's eye here. All right, here we go. Okay, there we go. Okay. All right, so for leg hooping, right? The reason I put this up on the big screen or the bird's eye is that it helps to think about you're going to want to push this way, right, with your legs, or usually it's just one doing like this. But what you want to do, or what you can explore, is to push out like at 45s. You're kind of creating this kind of trapezoid sort of place, and you can turn your legs out to help you achieve that, right? So if I'm down here on my legs, like this is me just pushing forward. I'm kind of backwards. But this is me doing this side to side. All these cameras and stuff. But more importantly than anything, like I don't know, Tara would correct me if she was here, but I externally rotate my legs, I think. I don't know if you can do that with legs, if that's just a torso thing. But I'm turning my legs out. I'm turning them out. They're opening away from each other, and that's helping me pull this off. And then I keep my hands moving, right? Now there is a way that you can go to help yourself create a lot of speed if you really need it. Usually what happens is, like people learn things in different ways, but one way to learn them is to keep your legs together, like I'm doing right now. My legs are together. I'm not doing any of the advice I just said, but I'm allowing my ankles to bring my heels up off the ground a little bit, or just to have them lighter, to make my heels a little bit lighter. And then I'm creating a lot of momentum by just breaking my knees a lot, right? So I'm not even really like thinking about my push. I'm staying in the middle of the hoop, I'm staying in the middle. But I'm just breaking my knees. And then as I want to grow out of this, I'll bring one leg out of the formation, right? I'll show you again. So I'll bring one leg out of the formation. This is where we start to turn. And I externally, even though you can't see it, it looks like my knees are staying together, but they're actually turning out some. And then I'm here. And then my advice for legs is to sort of visualize a zone of contact that you want to make. Like I'm doing the mid-thigh right now. I want the hoop to hit sort of mid-thigh for me. It's not just above the knee, and it's not all the way up at the high thigh. I'm going for kind of the middle here. And then if the hoop starts to run out of gas, I can always go back to that up and down, that just breaking my knees and get that momentum jacked back up. See the speed pick up. And then I separate the legs, bring it back to something more reasonable. This is the most burning part from that year. I like to, when I first used to do this, I would have mirrors. Like I have these sliding glass doors, they're kind of acting as mirrors right now. These cameras are acting as mirrors. But you can, while you're working on something like leg hooping, you can add like little quirky things to it to make it more fun and sort of develop the body at the same time. So like I can sort of, like I can paintbrush kind of my hands. surprised how much your hands will help you. Okay, wow, that went way too long. I didn't mean to go a full 5 minutes. I'm sorry. Sorry, guys. Sometimes when I don't have a friend here, I kind of like drift off myself into my own sort of hoop bliss there, and that's what just happened. Okay, so we're way behind on time right now. So I think it. Actually, no, I want to do one more, but it's super chill, and you don't have to participate. I'm imagining you guys know that by now, that you can always peace out. I don't want you to. That's not being dismissive. I'm just saying that I would never take it personally if you were like, class was good right there, and I'm good. All right. But one thing I think we should finish with is balance. And if you have a camera, let's try it. If not, the only reason I'm saying it's not so you like post it tomorrow, just so you keep it, and then I'm gonna try to stay disciplined about this and check in, with us on these same skills. And then, maybe you film then too and just see, progress, success breeds confidence. It's like old, but super true. All right. So for balance, you can use any balance that you want to, and I'll just go ahead and kind of start us there. I go back and forth so many times on what makes a good balanced song. Actually. All I can remember about the song I want to play is it has the word ride in it, and I can't find it. Apparently I have a lot of songs with the word ride in it. Oh no, sorry Carla. Oh. Balance. Remember, your hand is meeting the hoop in balance. It is meeting the hoop. We know that physics has revealed to us that the hoop is pushing down, and what's keeping it here floating in space is us pushing up. And our push is greater than the force of its push. Often, kind of like with angle hooping, when your balance starts to fall, and it will, and it should, and it's totally fine when it does, it's because your hand's tired of pushing up. Your arm's gotten tired. It's not done for the night. It's not done for that whole minute. It's just done in that moment. It's gone 4 or 5 seconds, and it's cooked. Living balance. And that might sound metaphorical, but I mean it literally, that it is living balance, that it can morph and change at any point. And so to make the hoop look still, I have to be open to every movement in the world to me. To make it look locked, I have to be completely unlocked. this is the perfect example of an ascension point, just to tie this all back together before we sign off. The hoop balance is not a goal, it's an ascension point for me. I'm just staring at the hoop. I'm not figuring out what I'm doing right or what I'm doing wrong. It's an ascension point. It's in my field of view, and having it there is helping me to maintain that balance, that living balance, that push up to meet its falling. Okay. All right. Wow, we are so over the time. I'm really sorry about that. I think I'll do just some, I don't know, gosh, I don't know if we need a free hoop song or not. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna end with some of my favorite balancing music. It's kind of crazy, but it's this cellist from Montreal, or I think he's from Montreal, and I love his music. It's kind of crazy. I don't think we'll listen to the whole thing because it's a long track, but this will be just kind of some cool music to kind of wind down. It picks up. It's like this is a live from a concert or show or something that he did. So it has other people playing. Oh, nice, Carla. Good. Well, see, Carla, by you commenting, Carla, you have documented it. So even though you don't have your phone, it's documented kind of in the best way possible. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me. Welcome to Baxter's Craziness here. All the different angles. I'm going to finish the couch tonight, by the way. I'm coffeeed up. I'm ready to go. I definitely will, Louisa. One of the cameras is mounted to the new couch right now. That one, actually. Hey. Yeah, I think it's better. I think balance is better because you're activated, you know, like you're awake, like in a real way. Sarah, thank you. It's always great to have you here. There's Juliet in the background. Let me say something really fast since everybody's peacing out. I don't know if anyone's still here, but there we go. Okay, so what we're doing, so my birthday is Monday night. I love this stream. I want to be a part of this stream on Monday night, and I would totally teach a class. But my friends, I always call them the girls, they hate that, but Viv and Ann want to take over the stream and basically have a jam, and they're going to DJ it, and I'm just going to be there saying hello to whoever is popping in. And then we're gonna have a Zoom wall, and if you're not familiar with that, that's where, like, we're gonna I'm gonna do my best to broadcast the entire Zoom to the wall behind me. So there'll be a delay. You don't have to deal with that delay. You can watch it on Zoom like you normally would. But there's gonna be some kinks to figure out. I got to figure out exactly how to do it. I think that the Zoom, what you will be seeing will not have video, but just my audio. But we'll work on that together. Okay. So that's going to be our normal time, 7 o'clock. Sometimes they show up late. So anyway, yeah, Monday will be fun. I don't think we will have a Sunday jam. If we do, it'll be last super spur of the minute. Yeah, we're definitely doing. Can you guys believe we're gonna hit 2? We are gonna hit 2 years, y'all. We're gonna hit 2 years of this stream. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's so weird to me too, because I wonder sometimes, like, if I passed one of you on the street, would I even realize that we've been hanging out 3 times a week for 2 years? You know, and I think I would. I think I'm learning the pictures with the images with the names and the handles. But anyway. So have a great night. We'll finish this out. Thank you so much. Thank you, Rita. That means a lot. I appreciate it, y'all. Okay, my friends, have a beautiful night.